Hello everyone, it's Miss Melissa, and today we're going to talk about our planet Earth. Something very special happened with our planet last week. Do you guys remember what it was? That's right, everybody. Last week was Earth Day. Earth Day is super important because it helps us remember all the wonderful things that Earth does for us and has for us. But it also helps us remember how we can take better care of our planet because too much garbage can make it sick. Do you guys remember what we can do to keep it healthy? Well, this is where our 3 R's come in: reducing, reusing, and recycling. Let's go over a little bit about each. Our first R is reducing. It's using less of something. So instead of using these plastic bottles, is using bottles that we can use over and over again. Our next R is reusing. It's taking something we've already used and using them a lot of times, or using them for something new, like taking these cans and making them into flower pots. And our last R is recycling. It's taking something we already use and sending it off to be made into something new. I already know that lots of you are using all these 3 R's to make our planet stay healthy. But did you guys know that we can also make art out of it? Well, let me show you. Hello everyone, it's Miss Melissa. And now that we're done talking a little bit about reducing, reusing, and recycling, I'm going to show you how to make your very own recycled art. For this project, we're going to make a recycled ocean. Can you guess some of the things that I used to make it? If you take a look at this project, you can see that I used a cardboard box, construction paper, a paper plate, and a water bottle. In addition, I also used a glue stick, masking tape, scissors, and newspaper for underneath our art project. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a newspaper and lay it on the bottom. We're then going to grab our water bottle and we're going to make sure that it's empty. Let me take a drink of this last bit. Once it's empty, we're going to crush it and we're going to take this off as well. And we're going to take the bottom part and we're going to fold it in like that. So it should look like this. It should look like this once we are done crushing it and we have cut off the label. Now that we're done crushing our water bottle, you're going to make 2 V marks at the very end. And make sure you have mommy and daddy around because you're going to have to cut these out just like this. So once you're cutting out these pieces, you should have a little indent right here. And this will be the base for our fish. Now that we're done cutting out our fish, we can now start painting. So for this fish, I'm going to paint it green. You can use whatever paints that you have, rainbow, yellow, or whatever else color. So I have some green paint on a plate and I'm gonna start coloring this fish. Here we go, and it does not have to be perfect. It's all about having fun. You may get a little messy, but that's okay, because you can always wash it off later. So what I have here is a nice green fish. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to set it aside and you can make more fish with a water bottle or a paper plate, which I'm gonna show you guys next. So on my recycled ocean project, I have 2 paper plate fish. I have this one and this one. I'm gonna show you how to make both of them. A triangle nose and a circle nose. To make our paper plate fish, you're going to need 2 paper plates. So the first one we're gonna do is the round fish. So you're going to need a marker, and on your paper plate, you're just gonna mark 2 spots. So it can be anywhere, but I marked it here. And then if you notice on your paper plate, it should have like almost a circle, and you're gonna cut all of this parts off and keep this circle right here. And we're gonna start cutting. And the piece of plate that you marked off will be its tail, just like that. For our triangle fish, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mark it off, but instead of cutting it in a perfect circle, we're also going to make 2 lines. Just like this. So we're going to cut around the lines, the tiny piece of circle just like that, and you will have your triangle pointed fish. So what you'll have left over is a pointy fish. So these are our 2 plate fish. Now that your paper plate fish are done, you can either paint them or color them. For mine, I chose to color them. You can also take your water bottle fish, and if you did this before, they may be dry by now, or you might have to wait a little while for them to dry. But what you can do is you can take the rest of the paint that you have left over and some Q-tips, and what you can do is dip them and decorate your fish. So you have some polka dots. Just like that. Now that you're done with your fish, it's time to pick your background. For my first project, I used a cardboard box that I split open and then I painted it all blue. But if you don't have a cardboard box, do not worry. You can also use a paper bag and cut it open and paint it. Now that your background is painted, you're gonna have to set it to the side and leave it to dry for a little while. Or if you don't have any of those items, you can just use construction paper, which will work perfectly fine. But now we can make some seaweed. So what you're going to need is construction paper and a marker. So what you're gonna do is just make a squiggly line, just like that, a point, and a squiggly line down. And you're gonna make a few of them, and that will be your seaweed. So now I finished cutting out the rest of my seaweed. Now you're going to take your glue and you're going to paste it right onto your project. I'm still waiting for the other background to dry, so I'm just going to use my first project because that's all already dry. And I'm going to place it right on the bottom. You can use a bunch of materials if you don't have construction paper. You could always wait for it to dry and use some paint. Or if you have any leftover Easter grass from Easter, you can put that as well for seaweed, or you can even use wrapping paper. It is your project, it is your reused, recycled ocean, so you can make it however you guys want. There's no right way to do this. So that is the rest of our seaweed. You can see. Okay. And now that we're done doing our seaweed, it is now time to paste on the rest of our fish. So now that you're done sticking down your seaweed, you're going to grab some masking tape or some glue and you're going to stick on your fish. So I'm going to take a piece, I'm going to loop it so it should look like this. Then I'm going to stick it on the back of my fish, and you can stick it onto your project. Again, I'm going to use my first project because I'm waiting for my other background to dry. And you can place them wherever you want. Again, you're going to take another piece of masking tape, or if you have glue, you can just glue it on the back, but masking tape has worked so far for me. Just like that. And you're going to stick it on. And you're going to do the same thing with your water bottle fish. You may have to use glue for this, but You can also use masking tape as well. That's worked for me. Just like that. There we go. And now that you're done sticking all your fish, you have your beautiful recycled art project. Just like that. How pretty is that? And these are all recycled items. All these items you can definitely find at your house, or you can use other materials that you want as well. Well, I hope you guys have a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to see what you guys have created. Have fun, guys!